Graduates and guests, the academic procession is about to begin. We will be singing the national anthem, the words of which are on page 11 of your program. I would ask now that you please stand for the academic procession and remain standing for the national anthem.
Please be seated. I, Catherine Branson, Chancellor of the University of Adelaide, declare open this congregation convened for the purpose of presenting degrees. Distinguished guests, parents, relatives, friends, and especially graduates, welcome to the University of Adelaide's graduation ceremony. Gana Meana, Gana Yata, Nadlu Tampindi. In English, we acknowledge that we're on the land of the Kaurna people. We acknowledge the Kaurna people, past and present, the original custodians of the Adelaide Plains, and thus of the land on which each of the University of Adelaide's campuses is built. We acknowledge the Kaurna people's ongoing spiritual connection to this wonderful land. Graduation days are such joyful days, days to celebrate hard work and success. Graduates, your graduation is an event in which you and your family and your friends who've supported you can take great pride. It's also, of course, a source of pride and satisfaction to the University of Adelaide and those fine staff who have taught you and worked with you over your years of study. This day should be a day of reflection for you, a reflection both on what brought you here and on what lies ahead for you in the future. This day may well signal a quite significant change of direction in your life. Whatever direction your life takes, the knowledge that you've gained here, the skills you've developed, should stand you in very good stead, not only in your professional lives, but we hope in your personal life as well. We wish you well in your future. I now call on the Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Peter Hoy, to present the candidate for an honorary degree.
Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to present to you an outstanding candidate for admission to the honorary degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa, Frances Jennifer Adamson. Frances Adamson, already a distinguished alumna of this university, is being honoured today in recognition of her enormous and continuing contribution to Australian international relations as a diplomat, advisor, and leader. Ms. Adamson graduated from the University of Adelaide with a degree in economics in 1985 and embarked on a career in international relations when she joined the Department of Foreign Affairs, securing her first international posting in 1987 as Vice Consul in Australia's Consulate General in Hong Kong. Across her career, she has served as political counsellor, representative to the Australian Commerce and Industry Office in Taipei, Deputy High Commissioner and Acting High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, and Australian Ambassador to the People's Republic of China from 2011 to 2015. Ms. Adamson's expertise and professionalism are held in high regard across the political spectrum. She worked as Chief of Staff for former Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honourable Stephen Smith in the Rod Gillard government, and later as Senior International Advisor to Prime Minister, the Honourable Malcolm Turnbull, before being appointed as the most senior diplomat in the country. She is indeed the first woman to hold the position of Secretary of the Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. In 2015, Ms. Adamson was awarded the prestigious Sir James Wolfensohn Public Service Scholarship to study at Harvard University. Today, she is a Fellow of the Institute of Public Administration Australia, a member of the Expert Finance Australia Board, the Advisory Board of the Australian National University's National Security College, and the Asia Society Australia Advisory Council. She is repeatedly ranked as one of South Australia's most influential people. Ms. Adamson is also a member of the Champions of Change Coalition and of Chief Executive Women. She is widely recognised for her groundbreaking role as a woman in confidently taking on positions that had previously only been held by men. Not everyone will know this, but that all started right here at the University of Adelaide when she became the first female captain of the University Boat Club in its 103-year history. Through her skill and expertise, Ms. Adamson has made a significant contribution to Australia's international standing. She has sensitively navigated complex geopolitical challenges and continues to be an exemplary leader in her field and an inspiration for all women through her leadership and her valuable contribution to Australian society. Chancellor, I'm pleased to present to you Ms. Frances Jennifer Adamson, Bachelor of Economics, for admission to the honorary degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa.
It now gives me great pleasure to introduce to you today's graduation orator, who is, of course, Dr. Frances Jennifer Adamson.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor and President, distinguished guests, members of staff, family members and friends of those who are graduating today, and of course, most importantly, graduates. It is to you in particular I will address my remarks. First, I acknowledge the Kaurna people, on whose traditional lands we meet and whose spiritual relationship with their country we respect. I pay my respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging. In 1985, when I was last in this hall, sitting where you are and attending my graduation ceremony, there was no acknowledgement of country. It is only right that we do this today, a small step in the continuing journey of reconciliation for a nation that now calls itself one and free. It is also a reminder that the future you will shape is not just the one that lies ahead, the clear blue sky, if you like. The future will also be influenced by how you and your generation choose to think about our past and what actions you take as a result. They are both choices, and there is opportunity there. Today, though, is a day of celebration and the successful culmination of years of work and studies completed during a global pandemic. I congratulate you on your hard work, commitment, and resilience. Many of you will have received support from parents and friends, some of whom, like my family and friends, are with us today. It is a wonderful thing, again, to be able to share times like these. When I graduated with an economics degree, I always intended to undertake further formal study. I thank the Chancellor and the University Council for recognising that these good intentions were unlikely at this remove to be fulfilled and deciding to award me the degree of Doctor of the University Honoris Causa. For those graduates who have been studying in Australia as overseas students, the past year will have been a particularly challenging time, no matter how welcome and supported your university and your community wanted you to feel. You deserve our warmest congratulations. There is no doubt that the strictures of social distancing have put more emphasis on solo effort and less on working together, at least in real life. But as we strive to bring COVID-19 under control and resume more normal discourse, I encourage you to rediscover the power of teamwork and collaboration. How to work as part of an effective team is one of the most valuable skills I learned at university. It was not so much the small group exam revision sessions organised by fellow economics faculty students, though they were helpful for each of us. Disappointing though it may be for my illustrious former economics professors and tutors to hear this, for me it was much more about the Adelaide University Boat Club. There I learned that 5 people willing to apply themselves and genuinely work as a team can progress from the uncoordinated flip-flopping of novices to a perfectly balanced championship-winning crew. It was at the Boat Club that I first learnt the power of collective effort. I also learnt what it feels like to have to dig deep and keep going when you want to give up at the 1,200 metre mark of a 2,000 metre race, and to be convinced that if at first you don't succeed, training, and trying again can and do produce much better results. And I learned some important early lessons about leadership. In 1984, I was elected captain of the University Boat Club, the first woman to hold that role. I learned that you don't have to be better than everybody else to lead. The club's Olympic and Commonwealth Games medalists were streets ahead of me anyway. I learned to work with my fellow committee members collaboratively, to pull my weight, to listen and seek advice, to take responsibility when things went wrong, and give credit to those who deserved it when they went right. They were valuable lessons for life and for other leadership opportunities I've had, including as an ambassador and as the first female secretary to lead Australia's Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade and Foreign Service. I hope these personal reflections may be of use to you as you embark on your careers and the next stage of life. But I also want to speak briefly about the bigger picture, what diplomats call geopolitics, or the strategic environment. In 1985, I started work as a Foreign Affairs trainee during the final years of the Cold War between the United States and the former United States and its allies and the Soviet Union. This ended in 1989 with the collapse of the Berlin Wall and the subsequent breakup of the Soviet Union. That produced what was called a unipolar moment and a brief period of rather naive optimism that the future would be overwhelmingly peaceful and prosperous. In 2021, as you make your way into the workforce, the world is facing some major challenges. Not just the health and economic effects of COVID-19, not just climate change, but also growing strategic competition between the People's Republic of China, a rising great power, and the United States of America, the established great power. As commerce graduates, you know that China is an important economic partner for Australia, that our economies are complementary, and that Chinese consumer demand for Australian products is strong. At a personal level, you know that Chinese students will be welcome on campus when they're able to return, and tourists to South Australia too. You also understand the need to evaluate risk and think strategically, and you know how important it is for global security and prosperity that agreed rules are upheld. That's in Australia's interests, China's interests, everyone's interest. As China adopts a more authoritarian approach domestically and asserts itself internationally in ways which challenge and undermine those rules, Australia is experiencing a range of difficulties in its bilateral relationship with China, which you will be aware of. The Australian government wants a constructive relationship with China, where we can discuss differences and work for mutual benefit. Governments of other countries want the same or similar, but China expects compromise on key national interests in exchange for dialogue and cooperation. It is important that you know this as you embark on your careers, because it is likely to affect you, possibly quite directly, and because the way it plays out will influence the peace and prosperity of our state, our country, our region, and the world. Our freedoms, including academic freedom and freedom of speech, which we often take for granted, may need your voices in defence. I encourage you to act with integrity, guided by your values. My last word is to the women among you. As graduates of the University of Adelaide, you have been well educated, just like your male peers. You know there are many women who have gone before you and who've achieved firsts in a wide range of fields. You may have heard the saying that you can't be what you can't see. I simply want to say you can be what you haven't yet seen. That's how firsts are made. You may have opportunities, should you wish to take them, to do those things. But I also want you to know that being the second, the third, or the fourth is important too. That's what normalises gender equality and enables us as a country to draw on the full talents of our people, whatever their gender. As a fellow graduate of the University of Adelaide, I wish each of you the very best in your career and in life as you draw on your talents.
On behalf of the graduates and their families, I would like to thank Ms. Frances Jennifer Adamson for her motivating and inspiring address. We are honoured that you have taken the time to join us on our special day and share with us your thoughts and experiences. Your words of encouragement and advice are greatly appreciated. They remind us that education places upon each of us an enduring responsibility to make the best possible use of our talents and to contribute to the betterment of society in whatever way we can. Please join me in once again thanking Ms. Frances Jennifer Adamson.
I will now receive the candidates for degrees. I call on the Vice-Chancellor and President.
Chancellor, I, Professor Peter Hoy, Vice-Chancellor and President of the University of Adelaide, certify to you and the whole university that the graduates who will be presented to you have all fulfilled the conditions prescribed for admission to the award for which they are so presented.
I, Catherine Branson, Chancellor of the University of Adelaide, by virtue of the powers committed to me by the University, confirm that each graduate is admitted to the rank and privileges of a holder of the award in the University of Adelaide for which they are so presented. I call on the Professor of Accounting of the Adelaide Business School, Professor Paul Coram, to present the graduates.
Chancellor, I, Professor of Accounting of the Adelaide Business School, Professor Paul Coram, present to you graduates from the Adelaide Business School. To the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Mun Kian Aik. Mirza Ali. Michaela Jada Anderson. Musha Askar. Haomin Bai. Aliyah Sasha Balakano. Claudia Marie Baril. Daniel James Bennett. Libby Brake. Austin Thomas Brearley. Leah Briani. Jem Ford Burns. Patricia Jamil Sikat Kapaza. Jessica Joy Carver. Matthew Casey. Tim Chack. Rachel Margaret Robertson Chalmers. Chan Chak Kwan. Lok Man Chan. Jing Chen. Ya Jia Chen. Chuck Wing Chow. Gavin Ka Ching Chow. Thomas Christensen. Cindy Yeo Hui Woon. Lachlan Kane Clark. Jasmine Nicole Collier. Alessandro Condello. William Edward Coomblas. Patrick Thomas Aldo Crotty. James Remo D'Amato. Peter Stephen Davis. Michael De Palma. Harrison James De Pico. Jack Woodruff Dean. Deng Pishan. Harry Downs. Olivia Duncan. Simon Timothy Ebenezer. Lachlan James English. Roger William Escott. Danny Fagician. Julia Christine Fogarty. Du Quo. Michael Jiang. Michael Harvey Gill. Mira Quinn Gervin. Wan Rao Go. Jack Green. Sophie Victoria Greenslade. Kirsty J. Grieve. Scott Grieve. Jija Gu. Samyu Kuo. Xing Kuo. Hayden John Handakis. Lexi Ann Hards. Charlie Ashley Haran. Jacka Owen Harvey. Chi Ha. Cooper James Heath. Yuan Zhan Ho. Kate Holland Smith. Joshua James Holmes. Bowen James Hosking. Justin Scott Hutchins. Royce Ann Satirin Ilano. Charlie Daniel Jackway. Matthew Sanjeev Jacob. Nurhana Zara Jamaluddin. Japit Kaur. Alexander Paul Jorgensen. Sarah Joseph. Benjamin Joy. Joanna Nicole Shirker. Shreya Kalia. Max Thomas Kelly. Apurv Pravin Kaure. Jocelyn Kaur. Lachlan James Kirshner. Justin Clem Clementu. Anthony Mark Nevitt. Shagaya Koshkolami. Ko Soon. Harold Prospero Cube. Malvika Kumra. Dominique Lakota. Wei Chi Lai. Alice Marie Rose Lunger. Wei Shan Lau. Keegan Lee. Kirshin Lee. Tori Marie Lees. Lu Yi Ling. And also receiving the Diploma in Languages, Nina Lee. David Liu. Jing Kai Lim. Jana Elise Hui Chian Lo. Amy Lotheringen. And Ray Xuan Lu. Chancellor, this concludes the graduates from the Adelaide Business School and this ceremony.
Having spoken to you individually as you cross the stage, it now gives me great pleasure to congratulate each of our graduates now as a group. Be proud of what you've worked to achieve. And remember those who've supported you, your family, your friends, and those wonderful staff of the University of Adelaide who've assisted you on your way. I wish you every success as you enter this next exciting stage of your life and your career. As graduates of the University of Adelaide, you are also its alumni and its ambassadors. Over the years since this university was established, its alumni have made enormous contributions in this country and all around the world. You join this community of 147,000 alumni who have located in more than 134 countries around the globe. We have 17 global alumni networks, including 8 international networks. I urge you to give consideration of joining one of those networks. I'd now like to take the opportunity to thank our Mace Bearer Sophie and our valedictorian Rachel and all who assisted in the organisation and running of today's ceremony. I now ask all of the graduates to remain seated while I ask those who conveniently can to stand and join me in congratulating the graduates on their achievements. Thank you. Please be seated. And having thanked our valedictorian, I haven't asked her to speak. So let me now ask our valedictorian, Rachel Margaret Roberts-Chalmers, who was presented this morning with the Bachelor of Commerce, to give the valedictory address on behalf of the cohort of graduates who were presented this morning.
Faculty, distinguished guests, graduates and friends and family here to celebrate, I feel very honoured to be speaking on behalf of the University of Adelaide Commerce graduating class 2020. Much like an imminent university deadline, it wasn't until the Easter long weekend that I sat down to write this speech. Luckily, I was sitting at a shack, looking out over the bay, and all I could see was this vast number of different boats bobbing in the water. And that got me thinking. There were different types of boats everywhere I looked. There were little dinghies putting along, just gradually getting from A to B. There were yachts keeling over in the fresh breeze. And there were big, freshly painted motor cruisers, quite clear about who they were and where they were going. Then I noticed 3 people in a canoe. The person in the front was confusedly pointing in different directions. The one in the middle was just enjoying the ride, whilst the one in the back was doing all the hard paddling, pushing the group along. Does that sound at all familiar? Indeed, when we all first set out on our university journey a few years ago, we took quite different approaches. Whether that be working 2 jobs and studying part-time, overloading subjects with haste to complete the degree, coming to uni straight after finishing school, or travelling from overseas to study here in Adelaide. But wherever you came from and whichever pathway you followed to arrive at the University of Adelaide, we all started our commerce degree together at the same starting line. Equally, as I looked out at the water, I noticed how the boats were facing in the same direction, ready to set out. Mind you, there's always one that's facing the other direction, making you wonder where exactly it's going. As our studies began and we all set sail, we kept catching glimpses of new bays to explore just around the corner. We took unexpected interest in subjects we didn't initially think we would. We took on opportunities that gave us a new lens with which to view things. We spoke with our diverse professors and fellow students, absorbing the wisdom and experience from their stories, each reflecting their vastly different backgrounds. Then, as we sailed on, through waters sometimes calm and sometimes choppy, we all encountered a huge and unexpected COVID storm last year. The rain poured down and the waves picked up, and we were all frankly terrified. We were forced out of the safety of smooth waters and quickly had to change tack just to stay afloat. But we were resourceful and we gradually adapted. We moved from the comforts of the hub into the sanctuary of the comfort of our own homes. However, this wasn't the first storm we'd had to brave, and we'd brought on board the learnings from previous challenges, like exams and threatening due dates. It was certainly interesting to be so close to completing a degree before being struck with this unexpected chaos. But we rode the storm and we managed to find silver linings, like spending time with our pets on a more regular basis. Then the waves receded and the sun finally came out again in second semester. We caught a gentle new tailwind, grateful to gradually return to the inviting Adelaide campus and mix once more with fellow students and tutors from our course in person. It's always good to look back and remember those times when we felt like we were getting somewhere. That feeling when the wind is behind you and the sun is shining in your face. Maybe you're happily following along with the content in a lecture, or you've walked out of Wayville knowing you've done your best, or you've submitted your last ever assignment. At Adelaide University, we had found a safe harbour. Exactly how our education has prepared us for the future is something we may not fully see or comprehend yet. In 10 years' time, something that seemed insignificant in a lecture may well pop up in our mind, pitching an idea at work, or maybe answering a question in a job interview. The benefits of our time at this university are no doubt an investment that will keep on paying dividends, to use a commerce term we're all no doubt familiar with. In fact, amongst this crowd, each of us will go on in vastly different directions, but with our commerce degree in hand, a huge range of possibilities await us. So, as the sun sets on our degree and begins to rise on our careers, we can enjoy the feeling of having finally obtained our certificate, or in the spirit of this slightly overworked analogy, boat licence. Likewise, we will remember all the insights and friendships developed along the way. I feel particularly grateful to be standing here as a young woman ready to embark on my own career into the exciting commercial world. And so, I would like to wish you all smooth sailing from here on in, strong tailwinds, and exciting new ports to discover.
Thank you, Rachel, for that beautifully constructed address. So this brings us to the end of our ceremony. Could I please ask the audience to stand and the graduates? And I will ask that following the academic recession, I ask you please to remain at your seat, stay here in the hall until directed to exit by the staff. I now declare this congregation adjourned.
Thank you.